There are moments that don't look dangerous at first. No shouting, no threats, no warning, just a small action. That doesn't feel right, and somehow your body notices before your mind does. That's exactly what happened that night. It wasn't what he said. It wasn't even what he did at first. It was the sound, a quiet, simple sound that changed everything. The sound of the door locking behind me. We had just arrived. The place was beautiful. A high-end apartment, different from ours. Minimalist, clean, silent, too silent. He walked in like everything was normal. Like this was just another night, but something felt off, not obvious, not clear. Just a subtle discomfort that I couldn't explain. And before I could even process it, I heard it. Click. I turned around instinctively. The door was closed, locked. He wasn't even looking at me, just casually placing his keys down, moving through the space like nothing had happened. And for a moment, I questioned myself. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe I was just tired, but my body didn't relax. It stayed alert, still, watching, waiting. He started talking, normal tone, calm voice, asking simple questions. How was your day? Did you eat? Small things. Things that should feel comforting, but they didn't. Because there was something missing. Warmth, presence, connection. His words sounded right, but they felt empty. And that's when I noticed his eyes. They weren't soft. They weren't present. They were observing. I moved slowly toward the living area, trying to act normal, trying not to show that something felt wrong. But every step felt heavier, like the air had changed, like the space had closed in. And then he said something simple. Stay here for a second. Not loud, not aggressive, just firm. And something about the way he said it made it feel less like a request and more like a command. I stopped, not because I wanted to, but because something inside me froze, and in that silence, I finally understood. It wasn't about the door, it wasn't about the space. It wasn't about that moment. It was about control, the way he moved, the way he spoke, the way he created an atmosphere where I didn't feel free to act naturally. And then he smiled, a small, subtle smile. Not warm, not kind, just satisfied. And that's when everything became clear. I wasn't in danger, not in the way people usually think, but I wasn't safe either, because safety isn't just physical. It's emotional, psychological, and in that moment, I realized I had been ignoring this feeling for a long time, that quiet discomfort, that tension I couldn't explain, that sense that something wasn't right, even when everything looked normal. If you've ever felt something like this, you know how confusing it is because there's no obvious reason. Nothing you can point to, nothing you can prove, just a feeling that doesn't go away. And sometimes that feeling is the only truth you need.
Ever felt this kind of loneliness within a relationship? Please take a second to subscribe. These stories are for you.
That night didn't end with a fight. It didn't end with a confrontation. It ended with awareness. The kind that doesn't disappear. Because once you recognize control, you start seeing it everywhere, in small actions, in subtle tones, in quiet moments that don't seem important until they are. And once you feel that shift inside you, you stop asking yourself if you're imagining things. You stop trying to justify it. And you start understanding something much deeper, that not all control is loud. Some of it is quiet, subtle, almost invisible, until one day, it isn't anymore. If you're listening to this and your chest tightens, listen to me. Love is not something that appears only in the dark. Affection is not a favor, and its presence deserves more than routine. You are not difficult for wanting connection. You are not wrong for needing warmth, and you are not asking for too much when you want to be loved in the light. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop accepting less than you deserve. Some loves don't end with screams or slamming doors. They end in silent exhaustion. In the moment, you realize that you were shrinking just to fit into someone else's comfort. If this story touched something inside you, know this: love should never make you disappear, desire should never replace care, and silence should never be the price of staying. You have the right to want more. You have the right to enter the light. And one day, the version of you that survived that will thank you for choosing yourself, even when you felt lonely to do so.